100 days with no substances, no sex, no masturbation, nothing.
100 days. Oh, shit.
I had to come face to face with myself pretty quickly because there was nothing to escape.
Yeah.
There's nothing to use to escape.
You have to sit with yourself. Yeah.
And I remember like literally looking in the mirror and like having this full breakdown
Yeah.
because now I had to look at this person who I didn't like at the time at all.
Yeah. You would be surprised how many people haven't given themselves the opportunity to just sit with themselves.
Yeah.
Hey, hoes, my name's Crit.
I'm Tia.
I'm Michael.
And welcome to Island Fever, where grown Pacific Islanders talk about doing grown-ass things. And today we're going to be talking about something Tia's familiar with, I know at least, and it is celibacy, abstinence, all those things.
Virginity.
Mm.
Just kidding.
And so breaking into Baywatch, Michael, take it away. What's our movie?
All right, so today we're going to talk about 40 Days and 40 Nights, which is Josh Hartnett?
Yep.
Josh Hartnett goes off of sex for Lent. And it's easier said than done because the entire city of women now all of a sudden decides that he's the last man on the island after a canoe race. And it starts going wild. And spoiler, he fails.
Damn. You really just... He fails, but it's kind of inappropriate the way he fails as far as women. I'll let you take this one, Tia.
It would fly today. Love this. I do love this movie. I think it's really funny.
Really?
Yeah, it's like there's rom-coms that are in the female gaze, and then there's rom-coms in the male gaze. And this is
definitely
very
the male.
much dude bro rom-com.
Extremely.
And like it's more of a sex comedy. Rather than like a traditional like romance. I love movies from the late 90s, early 2000s that are based in San Francisco. We got like a bunch of really good movies from there, like Mrs. Doubtfire, 9 Months, The Sweetest Thing, which is like the female version of this, I feel like a little bit. The aesthetic of the film is just very Y2K. I'm from San Francisco. I love San Francisco, so I love seeing it on screen. I also really like...
Not you claiming San Francisco.
I'll always claim San Francisco.
Does it claim?
Yeah. I feel like I was raised there.
Tia from the Bay.
I'm from the Bay. Is that not like
Evident?
obvious?
Yeah. I see it.
Like when we went out to drinks after dodgeball that one night, I forgot her name, but she's like, you're an Asian baby girl, I can tell. And I was like, what? No, I don't want that. Like,
who says that? You're an Asian baby girl?
She just was like, I can tell. Do you know what an ABG is?
Yeah.
You
don't know what ABG is?
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Is it like well, you know what? I'm not going to say the term. You know how they say...
Don't guess. What is it? Just tell me what it is.
Oh, what an ABG is? Yeah. She's like a kind of... I'm going to like butcher the definition of it, but she's like...
Doll? Like the stereotypical girl that would be gone for and like meek, submissive.
No, okay. Not really that stereotype of like an Asian girl. It's more like a hood adjacent Asian baby girl, like Blasia.
Oh, you know how I feel about that term.
So, anyway, I feel like it's just a specific vibe of like Asian girl from the Bay.
From the Bay Area.
Like a Filipino.
Oh, I think traditionally an ABG was a girl that hung out with the gangs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So like, so like a little hood rat a little bit.
And says the N-word probably.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
No,
but not me.
Very Bay Area.
It came from Asia.
Yes.
Like the ABGs in Asia were the girls that hung out with the, what's it called? What do you call the Japanese gang?
The Yakuza.
Oh, the Yakuza?
Yakuza and Chinese gangs. Like that was...
And then like LA,
adopted,
SF in the 90s, they were like adjacent to the like Vietnamese gangs and all that. And then it's like progressed and it's evolved and stuff. But it was funny because she was like, Asian baby girl. I was like, no.
Anyway, back to 40
Anyway,
days
anyway,
and 40
sorry,
nights.
sorry.
To forget, yeah, 40 days, 40 nights.
And yeah, I think this is a cool, funny early 2000 movie that we don't get much anymore. We don't have like a sex comedy anymore. It's got like a weird, cool vibe. I love the sex scene in it. That's not a sex scene. The flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just.
I also love that the main conflict is she's like, well, I want to have sex with you.
Yeah.
And this is your problem. Can you figure this out?
Yeah.
Please?
Wait, can I just say? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's like the secondary conflict. The main conflict is
Yeah.
he's saying no to sex
Yeah.
and fighting that demon.
Yeah. And then I'm looking at the woman's like.
Yeah, forget about
Story
the man's struggle.
No, I'm looking at the woman's
I know
storyline.
the male erasure. No, but
Yeah.
I want to talk about how I remember being in high school around the age, because when did it come out? It's 2000 and maybe 2001 or something, 2002 maybe.
Yeah, I think it was around then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when it came out, I remember watching it because I was like excited for what sex scenes are going to be in it. Because, I'm fast forwarding, I'm this little
Right.
horny kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's it. I remember being so disappointed because it did not
Yeah.
satisfy any of the little,
Urges.
horny.
Yeah. It's kind of like cartoonish.
Yeah, very much.
The
Especially
first
when,
one where
yeah, because he's looking at a black hole. I'm like, this is not hot at all. And then he fakes an orgasm.
Yes. Yeah.
And she's like pissed off. I was like, no, I want to see a real one too. Like Josh Hartnett.
Yeah,
I saw
right.
you in the Faculty. Why aren't you giving me Faculty energy? Like,
Also,
what's going
Josh Hartnett is so hot. He looks like an Abercrombie model in this.
Yeah.
on? He all right.
Tia couldn't stop talking about him the whole movie.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm sorry. He's
I thought
hot.
his
think
brother
he's
was
hot.
the priest was hotter than he was.
Okay.
You didn't
Yeah.
think
Maybe
so?
because he was a priest.
Yeah.
No, not even because.
Yeah.
Like the taboo.
Yeah. Like Fleabag. Have you seen Fleabag? Hot priest.
I have seen Fleabag, but you know how I feel about shows that.
By the way, speaking of priests, the reason why I liked it was because it was there's so many ways that I relate to it with growing up religious and having to remain abstinent and say no to something. The way that he was going about it, white knuckling like that, that's like recipe for disaster. And
Shit.
and a good lesson for all of us, like whether it's alcohol, sex, or social media, your phone. If you're white knuckling it and you don't know why you're saying no, then it's going to make it so much harder.
Yes.
But if you have a reason why and you are aware of that and you believe in that, then it's way easier.
But even then, it can still be like chaos. Like, you might have a grounded reason to
why.
be abstaining, and it could be it can still be hell. Like,
Well, as the
we'll
person
get more into
that
that.
is
Yeah.
the main, like I abstain from most things all of the time.
yeah,
I just have to shift the purpose and reason for it
yeah.
and have like sit down moments and like constantly like, should I be doing this?
Yeah.
So I believe in having like a why, but you have to like adjust it when it's like, obviously this doesn't affect us. Like, or this doesn't work or serve me right now,
Yeah.
and like continue.
And you can stay in something and flirt with it.
Yeah.
And like kind of let your mind think about it and spiral a little bit and start to tempt yourself. Or you can just like, okay, watch that thought go by and see it go. And let's think about something more
It's giving,
productive.
what's that philosopher? It's a philosopher, and basically he's like, what you're basically saying, you don't focus on a thought, you kind of just let it drift by. And,
Yeah, it's a meditation technique as
practice.
well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so my two takeaways from this movie, one, I grew up Catholic, so I was very familiar with Lent, and we always looked at it as like a sacrifice you're making for Christ. And then different priests I talk to, because I come from a very Catholic family. I have first cousins who are nuns and priests.
Oh wow.
Oh.
One of my first cousins actually got kicked out of the seminary because he tried to sneak a girl into, which is
They don't allow that?
no, they don't.
The Protestants do. No, they do. Because my grandfather's a priest.
But they let you sneak girls into
No, not sneak girls,
right.
but you're allowed to have a wife.
Right, exactly.
I'm just saying, like, Catholicism, no, but Protestants, yes.
Yes. Well, Catholic.
Yeah,
We won't get into the Catholic Church, but
yeah.
anyway, that's the religion I grew up in. And so, I remember watching it as a kid again, excited for the sex scenes. They let me down. The movie itself, I think I'm pretty neutral about it, but there were two things that made me laugh. One was when she says, she's like, forget the sex or whatever. If you really like a guy, it's about the kiss. It's all about the kiss. Like, that's where you know whether you like. And I was like, hell no. Do you know how many fucking men have kissed me like a porn star? And I fucking lost my mind. Like,
Oh yeah, you were like,
yeah, no,
you
it's not in the
can't
kiss.
You
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
define it on like a good kiss.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, because it would be like everybody that you had good sex with.
Everyone in Washington Heights, everybody in like that would have.
I think the kiss does tell me a little bit about what the other stuff will be like.
Yeah, but it's not like the defining.
Not the defining,
yeah, the
but
other stuff.
But if there's no connection in a kiss, then I kind of know. And like in retrospect, when there was no connection in the kiss, then there wasn't connection in the other stuff. And when the kiss was electric, and the other stuff was also good.
Are you talking about other stuff as in sex or other stuff as in just in general connection?
Yes.
Sex. Oh, okay. Because
she's talking about
is she'll know that like that's the one she wants to be with based on one kiss.
Oh, on the relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's saying there's a real connection.
Well, that's like that one song. If you wanna know if he loves you so, it's in his kiss.
Exactly, but what I'm saying is I've been turned out by someone who kissed me like a damn porn star, and then that fucked me up because I'm like, oh, yeah. Like
the kiss.
Yes.
Was crazy?
Yes.
And electric and all that stuff? Like, you felt like he loved you in the kiss?
It felt like he loved something.
We're like, whoa.
But, that's what I'm saying is both that song and what this girl is saying in the movie is like, you can know by the kiss. So maybe if it's a porn star kiss, that doesn't necessarily,
that's true.
Then that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
But if in the kiss is like, you can feel that love, maybe that tells you that a little more. There might be a little more there.
Yeah, I see that. Wait, Tia, I'm really mad that you said
what?
You're talking about the kiss, and then you're like, what was that supposed to represent?
No, just like I have been there. It's like great
Spread
double dick.
Tia says anything but the lips.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying like I get it. It's like you have to take a step back and be like, was that just really good sex or am I in love with this person? And you have to give like you need to just calm down for a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're like, it was just devil dick.
No, sex can throw you off. But what about a kiss?
But the kiss is where it's all at, Michael's saying.
I'm saying,
so I actually don't like kiss a lot. Like I don't love to make out. I've been trying to do that.
Oh, I love this shit.
More recently.
And
I'm like, we're making out. Oh, we're gonna have sex. Why are we not having sex? I don't love making out. I do now, like I'm working on that, but it was like, it's on. Get your dick out now.
But wait, okay, so
it's like 0 to 60. I'm like, oh my God, I've never done this before. Kiss.
So the other thing I wanted to bring up was the scene at the table where the dad, Josh Hartnett's character and his brother, who's a priest, they're sitting down with the parents, and the dad's like, oh, bringing out like the Kama Sutra, and he's like, do you remember when we did this position to the mother? And she's like, Walter, how could you forget Maui Hilton? Like, so basically, I mean, I thought it was like cool because, going back to parents talking about sex with their children. But you know what it made me realize? Like, it's so much safer to talk. Well, it's more common to see white parents talk about sex with their kids.
Yes.
You would never see that with an
island parent.
Yeah.
That's why my mom talks to me about sex.
Yeah.
My mom is white.
Yeah.
Or she's European too. So it's like...
Oh, so...
like, it's just... She doesn't come from like moralistic, like Puritan... It is ironic because my grandfather is a priest, but we have a very open dialogue. Even my aunts have an open dialogue. My grandma watches this. Like, she's like, he. But my dad's side of the family, that would never happen ever. Like,
well, it could go either way,
I'm bringing
right?
shame to the family.
But as far as Europeans go, it could go either way, really. But there is more acceptance in general than there is.
I just think there's like a less, like, you can see boobs on TV in Europe.
Yeah,
like it's not. We live in a very like modest society in America.
Yeah,
and it's very like censored.
Yeah,
sexually. And
when you say on TV, you mean like in commercials and stuff? Because I remember
like
seeing
there's cussing and there's like boobs on like cable TV.
Yeah.
Like it's not. There's no. I grew up with like, don't be ashamed of your body. Like, like an understanding of sex. Like it wasn't until I was older that my mom started like I can really have a conversation with her about it. I think when she was like telling me how like about puberty and sex and stuff, she just like gave me a book.
Yeah.
And then like the one thing that she said, and she says she didn't tell me this, but she said girls don't give blowjobs. Like when I was like 6 or something, like real ladies don't give blowjobs. Then
You're
I
6
repeated.
years old, you said that?
No,
don't
sixth
give
grade.
them.
Don't give them.
Oh, okay.
And then I repeated it. And like when I was like 18, and my dad looked at her and she was like, no, I never said that. That's not true. And my dad was like, that's not true. And I was like,
Yeah, I don't want to hear.
I don't need to hear this. But like they would like lie to me about stuff.
Yeah.
Like they told me like before, if you drink alcohol before you turn 21, you will get extremely ill. Like there's like a gene that turns on after 21 and then you can drink.
Yeah.
And I just believed them. And
Yeah.
then I also repeated that to friends and they were like, oh no, don't say that to them. That's not true. I don't know why they lied to me, but that was my mom's gonna
wanted
get mad
you to-
about
They
this.
didn't know how to have the conversation with you.
Yeah, they didn't know. Yeah, they're like, I was like kind of really innocent and gullible. And I think it was funny to them. They didn't think I would repeat it.
Yeah.
They just were like, I don't know. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's probably just easier at the time to
Yeah.
tell you some story.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, then she'll stop talking about it or stop asking about it or whatever. But
All right. So humidity scale.
Yeah, so with this movie, I liked it a lot. It was funny watching him white knuckle his way through this Lent. It was 40 days and 40 nights. Obviously, not the way to go about it if you want to do it right. You need to know your why instead of just saying no just for no's sake. But all in all, very entertaining movie and fun to see that dynamic with men and women and their sex drives. So yeah, I would say this is a nice, hot, sweaty day. I was pleased. I was entertained.
yeah, I would say like, yeah, nice tropical day. No rain, just humid.
Yeah.
Yeah, just fun.
I know. For me, I don't know. It was kind of cold. I think again, there's a lot of white people, and you know what? What I did notice was the one Asian girl they had in there. They had her dressed from like neck to toe, like nothing sexualized. Like it was just very much. She's not a not to say.
I thought it was there's white people, but I thought, oh, this looks like San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, there's like, obviously the main cast is white and Asian.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I completely forgot the girls
she's Asian.
allegedly
Hawaiian question mark?
Yeah.
I think. But the rest of the cast looks like fucking San Francisco, and there's like a bunch of like hot little Asian guys around them. There's some like it just like San Francisco is like Asia capital of the world.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of in terms of how like all the girls are hot and they're all lusting over him.
Yeah.
And then it shows all the white girls like very much like titties out, like short skirts.
Oh,
and then the one
yes.
Asian girl they have is like freaking.
Yeah.
She might as well be wearing a burqa. Like
Right.
That was wild.
Maggie Gyllenhaal is pretty like buttoned up too. in it.
Yeah. Oh, she's the roommate, right?
She's like the bestie.
Yeah. So
and-
for me, it was very like speaking of San Francisco, it was cold.
okay, but not wet.
Not
Like a rare,
just dried
cold,
up,
dry day in San Francisco. Yeah,
dry as Josh Hartnett's sheets for 39 days
Okay.
and 40. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where I was at with it. All right.
That's
so
fine.
moving into what's wrong with us, let's go back to, abstinence. Like, is it something? I guess I want to start with you, Tia, because you have talked about being celibate in the past. When we say you had a long bout of celibacy,
Very long.
How long are we talking, and what did it do for you? Well, what was
Like,
your intention behind it?
Through my MFA program, which was
The MFA program?
3 years. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying like y'all made a pact in your program, like you and the students.
No, it just was easy to not. I like went into film school being like, I'll leave here either with a job or a husband or both. And then I got there, I was like, not gonna be a husband. That's not where. No offense, I love you guys all. Also, we're like very close, but yeah, I just wasn't interested. I think I took a break, and the break I was just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm taking a break, and then the break just lasted through my MFA
Like
program.
3 years.
Yeah. I don't have to have sex that often.
But I mean, okay.
I'm not just not having sex and just not dating.
Yeah.
And it fucked me up because those were the 3 most creative years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I was so focused on myself. Those 3 years were essential to get me to where I'm at now.
Yeah.
And so I don't regret it at all. I just channeled that energy into my work.
Because you know what? I hear the benefits of semen retention is what like a lot of people will, I know that doesn't apply to women, but
just heard about that.
Oh,
crazy.
Is that real?
I've been reading about it for a long time. Yeah, because you're releasing like one protein, but then it's like your life essence, like you're basically spilling it. So if you
spiritual, like in a spiritual
Yeah.
sense.
And if we talk about this area, I guess it's if we're talking about that, that's the home of like your
Life.
Sexuality and creativity. That's wrapped up in one.
Yeah.
And so they're saying if you retain that, you're like keeping all that fucking creative energy and you're able to produce some of your best work. And so
find my voice.
Yeah.
And what I wanted.
Yeah.
I just took a real step back because like even with my sobriety. Now, I also do not suggest this for everybody because by the end of it, I was going crazy. I was like finishing my MFA program. I was not of right mind. Couldn't talk to a man at all. Like I was just like, I've lost my game. I'm never gonna get it back. Like this is bad. Like I just do things to the extreme. I do black and white, and I try not to do it anymore. But I had to take that break to get to where I am at, and to know what I want, and know that I can get what I want. But I also just didn't have the desire.
Yeah.
Like.
So you could have that in you again then. You could do it again.
Oh yeah, I could do. I'm like kind of doing it right now.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, the minute I ended, like the week I ended my MFA.
Oh, I was out.
Yeah. I was like literally, I graduated on a Friday or Thursday. I fucked a dude on Saturday. I was like, when I graduate, I'm out in these streets, and I did it. And they were like, my friends were like, oh, you did it. I was like, I wasn't lying.
Yeah.
And so
That was the first time after all that.
Oh, it was bad.
Oh, not good.
It was not good.
Well, it's probably
my fault.
Yeah, but it's probably who you picked or whatever, right? Like,
it was a mixture of that. Like, it was
was it someone you had been with before?
Uh-uh.
I mean, they're often.
That's a risk. Yeah. You kind of roll the dice.
Yeah, and I kind of also like. I just wasn't.
Were you kind of in your head about it because it was
a little bit in my head?
First
I
time,
also
like,
was
you feel like you were failing in some way.
No, it was that I was like, I'm gonna go on a date.
No, you built it up like I'm gonna
go
fuck
on
someone.
No, it wasn't even I'm gonna fuck someone. I could do that. It was like, Tia, you're going on a date with a man. Like go on it. Like do not go back to your normal stuff where you are just going to get fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can also, this guy wants to take you on a date. Go on a date. Don't have sex with him. And then, of course, I was like, oh, want to come to my house? Like, oh, let's hang out. And then he's at my house, and I'm like, don't do it, Tia.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do it. Just, like, you can not do it. And then I had sex with him. So it was this kind of, like, back and forth of, like, oh, you should be better about this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, what the fuck? I was trying to be, like a lady.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care.
That's not who she is.
That's not me.
I'll tell you why it wasn't good. Here's what it sounds like. It sounds like you kind of just wanted to have sex. So it wasn't necessarily something that you felt with him or whatever buildup there was. It was just to have sex just for sex sake.
Yeah.
Which I've been there before. And I feel like when it's not built up, it's not this thing like I have to have it. Then that's out of the way and you can see if you actually just connect with someone, and that's when it's good.
Yeah. Well, it was more like I was holding back. I was trying not to be like my normal self in sex. I was like, I'm a new person now. I'm like romantic.
Yeah.
And then the sex was not good to the point where he was like, I'm going to come over again. Like, we got to redo this. Like, what do you like? He was like, I know you don't like this. Like, the next time we hooked up, he was like, I need you to tell me what you like because I know what we did then wasn't good. And I was like, yeah, that wasn't what
was
I'm
it good?
into. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was just like it was very vanilla. And
the next time he came around.
Oh, the next time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yes. Like, it was good. After
that just speaks to how like communication, how important that is.
Yeah,
like,
and I appreciated that because I was like, oh my god, I was talking to my mom about it. My friends, they're like, how was it? I was like, I literally was like, yeah, sex is not that big of a deal. Like I could have gone without doing
another
that.
3 years.
Yes, and they were like, are you fucking serious? We've heard you talk about like you need to get laid for like a year and a half, and you finally do, and you're just gonna say, oh, sex is not that big of a deal. Like fuck off. They like my guy friends were like, are you fucking serious? You've been so annoying for so long talking about how you need to get laid. Anyway, it was crazy, but I do like taking breaks a lot. I think I need to like baby step into like I do get in my head a lot of like how I should be acting, and I also relate some of the way that I was having sex as part of my of using, and trying to differentiate that that's not coming from a place of trauma and coming from a place of just trying to have a dopamine like flood, or it's not me trying to avoid things, and I'd much rather like stay to myself and think about it and think it through than be actively doing it, like kind of just allowing me to be in a space that feels safe for me to explore it more. But yeah, I also I just am not in the mood right now. Too.
Michael, have you had any bouts of celibacy, or have you attempted to like do any bouts of abstinence?
Of course. So this movie speaks to me. I thought it was so entertaining and so funny because of the mixture between chastity and religion. So, well, one, growing up, chastity was it was like the second most important thing like you had to follow.
Oh my gosh, I feel like such an asshole. Like I definitely remember that you were in the church for that time.
But do you count that?
That's what I was gonna say. Outside of that, yeah. But I mean, sorry,
you mean like post virginity loss?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the lowest point in my life was probably like 2018, 19. There was a point around there where I just hit rock bottom, and I needed to make some changes, or else I don't know if I was gonna.
Because you was just splashing it around, yeah.
Well, I was just using everything I could to numb, and wasn't addressing the problems that I was feeling inside. And I linked up with a coach, and I was challenged to do 100 days with no substances, no sex, no masturbation, nothing.
100 days. Oh shit!
Now
I said I couldn't do the masturbation part.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah, I was going to say that's a lot.
Yeah. So here's what I ended up finding. One, I had to come face to face with myself pretty quickly because there was nothing to escape.
Yeah,
there's nothing to use to escape.
You have to sit with yourself. Yeah.
And I remember like literally looking in the mirror and like having this full breakdown because now I had to look at this person who I didn't like at the time at all.
Yeah.
And so that was a great immediate benefit, and also like so hard for me.
What did you? I mean, if you don't mind me asking, what did you see?
I didn't like myself. I didn't like this fake person, and I felt like nothing was working, and that I wasn't being authentic with the people I love the most. So I didn't have a real connection with them, and that emptiness was overwhelming. So yeah, and all the fear of being real with my family, letting them know that I had been living this life, like all that I had been hiding, which again goes back to both this movie and your feelings around sex was like the feeling that there's something bad about it. So my lesson from that was, okay, talking about it is a good step.
Yeah.
And being real about it, being honest and being authentic.
You would be surprised how many people haven't given themselves that opportunity to just sit with themselves and sit in silence and really take, and I fucking hate to use AA language,
I know,
but like,
I was gonna say,
take inventory of your shit. Like I actually don't want to use that.
But okay, me and you have both been in AA. We both don't follow it.
Right.
I'm not going to talk shit about it.
Me
It
neither,
helps
yeah.
so many people.
It's not for us.
Not for us.
Yeah.
However, I've done other things where the 12 steps, I'm like, oh, well, this kind of like recovery, self-help like
Yeah.
thing is, it's the 12 steps. And I do now that I've been sober for so long and see where my sobriety pops up in other ways or my addictive mentality pops up where I am like, okay, well,
what's going on? Like,
these steps really do help. Do I need to be going and, you know, having a sponsor and being super strict? Like, no, there's a good like balance and you find it for yourself. But
let me assess what's the root of
like,
these issues. And
the 12 steps do work in a way, or elements of it. And I'll never steer anyone clear of like going to an AA meeting. It just does not work for me. I don't do that well. But everything about it does, like being of service, being in community, having that inventory of flaws, basically understanding that you have a flaw is like essential in growing and being a better person. Yeah. But I cut you off.
No, you're fine. I have a question for both of you guys, actually. So the other thing I realized in that 100 days was I began doing more things. I had to do stuff. I was looking for. I was started going to shows, and I started just hanging out with random.
Life is a whole random fucking friends. New experience.
and I would sit longer with people and talk to them, just because I didn't want to go home yet and be alone. So I started to like who I was more, just because I'm doing the things that I've actually always wanted to do. I want to have more connection,
like the productivity
and sit and talk
is fucking nuts,
and work on my projects. And I'm okay washing these dishes and cleaning my house. I'm just gonna do stuff, and that way I won't stay. I won't have an idle mind. Yeah, I won't have that boredom to where now I'm wondering how I can fill that void. So yeah, what did you guys use? What were things that you guys felt like replaced it? Fitness was a big thing for me. That's around that time was when I started diving deeply into fitness and working out very regularly.
See, look where I could be if I wasn't out.
He made me fucking work out.
Yeah, we worked out this morning. It was a great.
I was like, I'm stressed. He's like, we're gonna work out. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
He was a boss. She did the whole thing.
Ugh, I hate it. Shut up. Don't put that out there. I don't want people to know. I could be a fitness pro. I don't want them to know about gym rat Tia. Anyway, my first 6 months to a year of sobriety, there were no drugs or alcohol. There was so many men. So, and then I had to realize that, that's where it's at. And I also have, I personally have had a soft bottom. Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. Yeah,
soft bottom when it's like you hit rock bottom, but it's not necessarily
like my
as harsh
life,
as others.
Like it was a functioning, like my life hadn't fallen apart. It was just like me. Okay, I looked in the mirror and was like, I cannot continue to live this life.
I guess mine would be a soft bottom.
Yeah,
then. And she's looking at me like, oh, you were soft bottom, but that
no,
now
I
you're
just
gonna
because I
start
said
rumors.
because I said high bottom the other day or soft. I don't. It's like an AA verbiage.
I thought it was a gay term.
Yeah, well, that's why he's saying don't point at me and say
like you're starting rumors
bottom.
now.
Yeah. No, very hard bottom. Anyway, I like.
Excuse me.
It took at least 5 years of understanding what sobriety meant because I took it away from AA. Mm-hmm. It took a lot of therapy, and it just took a lot longer for me to understand. Also, like, you get sober. You hit the year, you're like, okay, cool, great. I still feel like shit. Yeah. I'm still not doing things. I'm working my ass off. Like I know how to channel the energy now, and I know before I'm gonna like really crash out or burn out. But like it took me 5 years to get my shit together and know what the sobriety meant to me. I would always question, I'm not an alcoholic, because alcoholics like end up in the hospital or they end up in jail. And I didn't end up in any of those spaces. I'm not an alcoholic. Even just like 6 months ago, I sat down with somebody who was with me when I first got sober, and we had a conversation, and I just hadn't been around alcoholics in a long time. And I was like, oh no, I'm an alcoholic. The fact that I can sit down and have this conversation, we're talking about the same thing that I couldn't have a conversation with anyone else that doesn't have that, is I was like, no, I'm an alcoholic. You need to just accept this. You need to do step one and accept that you have this and you cannot ever do this. Like, and then even like this past month has been stressful for me. I was talking to my mom and Sean about my sobriety. Oh, I think I'm going to dip my toe into maybe seeing if I can do this moderately. And then I explained why I wanted to do it. And both of them were like, no.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I was like, it'll make me more productive. I need some type of relaxation that I'm not getting. Like all this. They're like, that's not normal.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So it's just been like a long process of finding what works for me. And I still don't think that I've found like something that fills me up in that way that you're talking about. Or like, I feel like a powerful, proud person of being sober, but it's still like a daily struggle of trying to find like how that works for me.
I feel like you've come so far. Like you seem so, I don't know, pretty solid.
Yeah, I feel solid too. It's just like I'm just like, oh, fuck yeah.
No, it's just, these are things that
like
that you have to come to terms with every day. Like a lot of times, yeah.
Well, what is it? One day or like fucking, oh my God, this is going to be the AA episode.
No.
We're not supposed to even talk about AA. No. But, their little fucking catchphrases are kind of like,
they are catchy.
Kind of catchy and they work.
They get fucking stuck with you.
But yeah. No, it's not as much of a struggle because I now can, like you were saying, like you just need to talk about it. Mm-hmm. I talk to everybody about it. Like part of like my sobriety is that I don't keep secrets, and I unfortunately will tell you every bad thing that I'm wanting to do. And if you're in my like close little circle, and then so it's not kept inside, and I like self-sabotage then. Like even with friends, like I'm like, don't tell me your secret. If you have a secret, don't fucking tell me that.
Yeah.
I'm not keeping that because I don't have secrets, because all of my like using and partying and guys were all kept secret. Like my best friends didn't understand that why I got sober. I've lost a lot of friends when I got sober. Sean only this year has understood it because I was telling him, and he was like, you cannot.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. And I still keep a lot of things secret or like personal to me. And so it's just been like that kind of journey.
For me, I can keep anyone else's secret. I have a few people who I like knowing that they know everything about me. Mm-hmm. Everything.
Yeah.
And so there's confidence, or not confidence, there's just kind of reassurance in that, also knowing that, okay, this person knows everything about me, every single thing, and they still love me.
Yeah.
And then also just that feeling of not needing to hold something in. That's exhausting.
Yeah.
So having people where you can pass that to.
Yeah.
I often encourage people who have access to therapy to use their therapist as that, because I mean, I do have my close friends who I can go to for help in that.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to, and not that they would ever call it a strain, but I don't ever want to strain our relationship to the point where I'm dumping a lot of shit on them. I mean, relationships are reciprocal. I'll always create space for my loved ones to be able to do that for me. But when it gets to a point where it's not a balance, that's when it's like, okay, you need to take this out of the relationship, remove it. And do it with a professional too, who can really help you work through that. But as far as celibacy goes, I have tried going 40 days. I've never been successful in it. Whether it's come down to masturbation or whatever, like I've always had to be like, okay, I gotta get through this.
I will say, I really do think that it's different for men.
Yeah.
Than it is for women. I have so many friends that are like women.
Just chemically, like
almost said female friends that can just you can just like shut it off. Like I do think there's like a not to be like biologically different, but like I really do think that it is harder for men to do that, but women can just mentally and physically just shut it off.
Oh, I was fucking climbing up the walls. Like it was crazy. Because I used to be in Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous, Sex Addicts Anonymous. And they would be like, okay, you're going to go however many days, 30 days or whatever. I couldn't make it to 2 weeks, and I'd go fucking nuts. And I'm like you, I'm all or nothing. So like I go from doing nothing, and then fucking one guy fucking like touches me
Yeah,
the
binge.
right way,
Mhm.
and fuck it's on, you know, and then I'm
Yeah.
fucking out. Like
It's
we-
also
go ahead.
sorry.
Oh,
It's also so accessible
in LA, especially,
in LA,
right?
and so but also I really do think, I mean, I was telling you this, you didn't know, which I was surprised, that men are on a 24-hour hormonal cycle. So you reset every day.
Oh, as in
Whereas
like
women
your,
are the 28 days. There's just like 4 days out of the month I am
like
feral.
as in your sec refills or something. I don't know what.
No,
is
like
it?
you ovulate, like your menstrual cycle. Like
Yeah.
your hormonal changes
Mhm.
are like you wake up different every single, mostly
like reset sort of thing.
every single day you're waking up in a different like
Cycle.
hormonal like chemical balance
as a woman.
as a woman. And like men have a 24-hour hormonal cycle where you're consistently every day. So it would make sense that this is not science, I don't know science, but I know enough of this, of like women ovulate.
Yeah.
That's when their egg drops and they're trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
That's when you're feral. Like that's when I have to be chained to a tree.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, okay. And then it drops off and I'm just like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah.
So I think there's
But we're
like,
there all day, basically. Like,
yeah, you guys are, I don't know. I'm
No,
not a fucking
It's
scientist.
like in the morning, your testosterone's higher.
Yeah.
is that why they was like morning
Typically.
wood? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
And to your point, the fact that men have wet dreams
Yeah.
growing up, that just
Girls do
shows that.
too.
Really? Girls have wet dreams?
Yeah, I mean, you have a good dream, a spicy little dream, and then you're not. Yeah, I don't think.
Oh, I always thought a male wet dream was for, like, there's overload
Penises.
at the factory, you know?
Well, sometimes I'm just saying, like,
Man.
a girl could, like, have a dream and it's good and she's, like, comes. You know?
Yeah.
I do think it's harder for, so
Yeah.
you guys feel seen. I do think it's harder for men.
No, everybody I talked to, like, you know, in the meetings as well, it was
Yeah.
very apparent that women were able to kind of go for extended periods
Yeah.
of time without having the same sort of challenges. And so, you know, it's also a mix of, I think there definitely is a biological element
Mhm.
to it, but then also a societal element too. I'm sure
Yeah.
that plays a big factor.
And I'm sure, I don't know, and I don't want to, like, generalize, but, like, in those SLA meetings,
Yeah.
I would think that women are dealing with more codependency, emotional
A lot of the time,
connection,
yeah. Oh my God,
and
don't
love.
these
you
words
know,
you're bringing
sorry.
up, like, yeah, I can.
And then men are dealing with the more physical and emotional things. But
yeah.
that's a generalization because I know there's probably women in there that are dealing more with like physical impulsive sex addiction.
No, a lot of the time, oh God, what was the term that they would use? And a lot of the terms used to just fucking get on my nerves to
Well,
begin
yeah,
with.
when you're there trying to just fight for your life and they're like, progress, not perfection.
No, but then they're like, this is what it was. I am love anorectic or something like.
Oh, yeah.
I was
I've
like,
heard
what
that,
the
though.
fuck is that?
I've heard that. It's
Yeah.
like they just don't experience it at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I was
Yeah.
just like, yo, are you eating, love? Like, what's going on? Like, are you starving?
Yeah,
Anyway,
it is a little bit of a like, okay.
You know what? Let's not
Yeah.
let's not go there. Anyway.
Not two bitter queens that have had to sit in the back of
who got
fucking
kicked out of
AA.
fucking AA.
AAs,
Yeah.
yeah.
But all that's to say, I think going back to your point, like how much you were able to learn about yourself, how much you were able to focus on the things that you really cared about. I think I could definitely benefit from an extended bout of celibacy, but it's tough, like because
hard.
you're forced to sit with yourself and really just fucking reflect on who I am and why am I so fucking needy for this, certain thing.
Yeah.
And for me, again, going back to addiction and the way that I use men to feel something, or to not feel something, that's one of the toughest things for me to ever do. So I think, again, I'm still working towards it, but I am about that celibate life. Have I lived it? No, but I'm about it, and hopefully we'll be about it soon.
I support it. I'm an ally.
Right, exactly.
Come join the gym.
I wear the badge. Yeah, exactly. But that's where I stand.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, I have to do stuff like this just for my sobriety and stuff. And do I need to do it at the extreme level that I do? Not really.
Yeah.
But I just knew that the path that I was on was not going to lead me to what I wanted in life or deserved in life.
Yeah.
I was like actively working from a place of trauma.
Yeah.
And even when you are aware of the trauma and you're like fixing it even in therapy, like it's just you poke at the wrong thing and I'm gonna be operating. Like I had to pause to create completely new behavior systems for me.
Yeah.
And then now I have to go back into the streets and see what I like and what's not from trauma and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
can I just add one little thing too? I feel like what's worked for me, you know, going back to me and you being very alike as far as being very all or nothing, right?
Yeah.
I think what can help is just starting off in little steps. Like, let me do 3 days, let me do 4 days, then work up and like kind of work that way rather than...
I'm never like, I'm not like the get to a year or whatever. It's very much a choice every day that I could drink.
Yeah.
And it's a choice I make every day not to.
Yep.
And
moment to moment, even. Yeah, it's like...
what, day by day.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck.
Can I add something from like a health perspective? Obviously, I never dealt with this to the level you guys did and what you guys have experienced. But with fitness and health, when people are super restrictive on something and the way that they beat themselves up about that thing is to an extreme, I feel like that's the, like in the movie, that's the white knuckling.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're talking about it, when you're finding healthy replacement behaviors that can help relieve those anxieties or those stresses or whatever you're craving, the need to be loved. So connecting with loved ones and feeling seen, feeling like people see you and understand you. All these things, I feel like, man, I feel like way too much.
No. Keep going, man.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Oh my God. We just yapped for days about fucking AA. Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So being restrictive is not the way to go about it. And if someone is wanting to get better at or get a healthier relationship with anything, sex, alcohol, drugs, food, social media, anything, that there are ways to go about that in a healthy way. And that is always going to be more efficient and more successful than just white knuckling it and just saying, I'm going to stop this and have no plan of attack.
Yeah. And I think to piggyback off that, like often for me, what's worked too is reframing it, right? Like rather than you're taking something away, like what are you adding to your life? Like
Totally.
what are you allowing to come into your life? Like how are you adding to it rather than what are you taking away? Yeah.
I think when it comes to addiction and stuff like that, and obviously I didn't have addiction issues with like harder drugs at all. It was very like weed and alcohol. But the abstinence only method is like not something that I think puts so much pressure on people. And I would see, that's what was upsetting, is you would go and you would see these people that were really trying their best and a relapse would just they would devastate them, and then they would not come back to the program. And it's like having that grace for yourself to be able to fuck up within it is very important, and I needed that. And then when you give yourself that grace to fuck up, you normally don't choose that path, the bad one. You're like, okay, the pressure is off. It's just today, what am I going to do? If something bad happens, how am I going to react? And that was something that I didn't love.
And you're being kinder to yourself in that process.
Because you shouldn't be beating yourself up. You're already like in a bad spot. Like you're already feeling bad. Like don't give yourself pressure if you can't just go white knuckling it like cold turkey. Like I did that because it was the best thing for me, and I wasn't going through withdrawal. I didn't have to go to rehab. I didn't have to do all of that. It was a different emotional process and physical process for me. But yeah, I wouldn't want people to not do it or not choose sobriety or celibacy because of the pressure of it. I would want them to just one day at a time.
Yeah, moment to moment, as I like to say, because one day I'll be fucking like everywhere. But anyway, all right, we've run out of time, but we do have time for one love letter, and this is for Tia. Well, actually, it's for everybody. Do you host?
Oh, do I host? Yeah, I always host. Yeah.
That's wild to me as a woman in freaking LA.
Host someone over? Oh.
Yeah.
Not for cup of tea. We know what we're talking about. We're not talking about for cups of tea.
Yeah, I host. Because I want to die. If I'm going to get murdered, I want to die in my apartment. And you can find me. I don't want to be at a second location in a basement.
Wow. Okay. Call me out.
But yes, I host.
Okay.
But I vet people. I used to allow strangers in my bedroom. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can host. I don't like going to a man's house. They always have like a black leather casting couch and it's dirty and I hate it and it's not even cute and I'm
Yeah.
like on a mattress with like one pillow. Like,
Well,
are
I
you
need you to
serious?
up your game first of all with the men.
Yes, I'm trying. I'm trying, but
And to speak to the basement, that was once I went around to a group and I went downstairs
Sorry.
and then I saw the latch like closed and I said, get me the fuck about, like, you're not about to fucking daylight me, like, get me out. So I ended up, I made a big scene
I
never went back.
I took Michael into my dungeon basement
Yeah, the
gym
is
today, and he
Oh,
was
that
scared.
was in your building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked all right.
He didn't like it.
I mean, that fan looked a little, like it was
Fitness
giving.
influencer didn't love it. I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. It's not the Iron Paradise."
Oh, fuck, not the Iron Paradise. Don't you know what the Iron Paradise is?
Of
Anyway,
course,
I
that's a
do not-
cultural thing, right?
All right. So do you host, Michael?
The host?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
more than one pillow.
Do you prefer to host?
I have more than one pillow. Do I
You have a
prefer
black
to
leather
host? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I do not like to host. One, because that's my sanctuary.
Yeah.
Two, like, no, if you're coming into my bed, like, you need to be my man. Like, I'm not fucking letting anybody into my bed and shit. Like, my family sleeps in my bed. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just like, not in this spot.
Mhm.
And then if I do, the very few times I have hosted, it's been in my fucking living room.
On the couch we've sat on.
Fucking Michael's face.
The couch you were sleeping on.
Wait, I didn't say it was on the couch, okay? I got that little ottoman. Listen, I got
sure
a
it wasn't
kitchen
on the
tape.
couch.
Listen,
Okay.
I didn't say.
Light some candles in this room.
And yes, I do like candles to clear the energy. And it's not just when I have sex. Thank you very much. It's all. Anyway,
Okay.
we're done with this. We're done with this damn episode.
All right.
Celibacy, wave the flag.
Ally.
Ally. Bye, hoes. See you next time.